And these are the crews we're going to be seeing. I think this Australian pair of Morrison and McIntyre were fantastic yesterday, coming out through the third quarter where we were watching. They had a really big lead. But let's meet all the other crews.
In lane 1, Ireland, Tara Hanlon and Natalie Long. In lane 2, from Greece, Christina Boumpas and Evangela Anastasiadou. From Australia, Annabelle McIntyre and Jessica Morrison. From Romania, Roxana Angel and Iona Vrinchanu. In lane 5 from Denmark, Fie Ubi Eriksson and Hedvig Rasmussen. And from Spain, Esther Briz Zamorano and Aina Sid.
Denmark. Hey, attention.
The tension's broken for the first of these A finals. And as I said yesterday, that Australian pair in the green boat were absolutely dominant, fantastic in their semi-final. What's it going to be like today as they get away? It looked like it was the crew over there in lane 2, the Greeks, who got a very good start. These Romanians, they are the European champions. Also winning their semi-final, so let's see how they can take it on as we're looking there at the Danes.
Yeah, it was a huge start there by the Greeks, really aggressive out of the blocks. In the middle, though, the Australians looking pretty cool, calm and collected as we would expect. This crew of Jessica Morrison, Annabelle McIntyre, coached by John Keogh. They were in the women's 4 Olympic champions from the Tokyo Games. This crew are absolutely the ones to watch. They went under world best time at the Hollenbecker Regatta a couple of weeks ago in a time of 6:47.11.
And you can see it on your screen there, the stroke rates of the Australians, as you said, they were into that long pace, slightly slower, lower stroke rate before the other crews. Romanians here are still up there. We were at 42, still going for it. It looks a little bit more aggressive compared to that length and distance per stroke that the Australians are looking to get. So we see them heading out there. This lovely shot we're getting alongside. And how about that stern of the Romanian boat, Sarah?
Yeah, the Romanians, such fierce competitors with such a long history and tradition in women's rowing. Elizabeth Lipa, previous winner of the Tommy Keller medal, is the Minister for Sport in Romania, and she is here, and she's had a big role to play in the resurgence of Romanian women's rowing. But as we see here, a check coming through the first 500, it is the Australians, but don't discount this crew from Romania. They're doubling up later in the day in the women's 8. It's a huge program at the World Cups to double up because it is a shorter program as compared to the World Championships, and that load over the course of 3 days is quite significant. So it's been really interesting to see the Romanian men and women doubling up in this kind of a program.
Yeah, that's right. The Romanian women prepared to get in the pair and then later to get into the 8. And we'll see, as we can see here, we've got pretty much the perfect chevron going on as expected. It's that Australian pair out in front. They're at 37 strokes a minute, but the Romanians still tracking them up at 39. But you said, Sarah, they've only been back in the boat recently, and it just clicked as soon as they got in.
Yeah, that's right. This combination has really had time to build together over the last year or so, but Annabelle McIntyre's had some injuries earlier this season, so they haven't been back in the boat together for all that long, but as soon as they got back in the boat, it just flew, and we saw them absolutely dominant at the last World Cup in Varese. But now they're starting to get challenged here by the Romanians in this third quarter of the race, as there we ride with the Australian boats. Annabelle McIntyre in the stroke seat, Jessica Morrison behind her. They're going to have to counter this call from the Romanians. They're still up on 39 strokes per minute. Currently fighting for third is the Danes and the Greeks. they're locked together in that bronze medal position at the moment.
Yeah, the race for bronze medal is certainly on as we see it. Yeah, those crews in lane 2 and lane 5, that's the Greeks. It's the Danes with Fayubi Eriksson sitting in the stroke seat. She goes way back to the London Olympics where she got the silver medal in the single scull. Now she's in this pair, still at it. And this picture that we're seeing is pretty much what I said I saw yesterday, which was that the Australians were dominant over the rest of their field in their semi. And as it is, it's the high-rating Romanians who are trying to keep the pressure on them. Question for me is just whether they can keep this up. It's 39 strokes a minute from the Romanians. The Australians' fastest moving boat on the water still.
And Greg, it looked as though the Romanians had a little move at the beginning of that second 500, but as they came into the 1,000, it looked as though the Australians were starting to counter that, and that's exactly what's playing out now. The Australians now breaking away from that overlap that the Romanians had. The Australians now in clear water lead. Are they going to continue walking away from this field, or do the Romanians have somewhere to go? The Romanians seem to be much higher in their stroke rate now. The Aussies still pretty low and languid. But we see here the Romanians, they're starting to really feel the pressure here in this third 5.
Yeah, you can see the movement's just not quite as together as it was earlier on, I guess paying for that early pace, and you can see just the distance opening up now. And also let's have a look at this bronze medal move. How about the Greeks, who've now pushed themselves away from that Danish crew? We haven't mentioned the Spanish, we haven't mentioned the Irish. They're getting pushed out on those side lanes, I guess as we might have expected, but this race is really opening up in this third quarter.
Yeah, the Aussies have made an absolutely killer move in this third 500 to break away to clear water over Romania. Romania are stepping up again. They're the fastest moving boat on the course, but they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back in touch with the Aussies for this last quarter. To my mind, the Aussies have absolutely taken this, and they're going to be very hard to beat, but this race is on for the bronze medal. The Greeks have been brave early. They've gotten themselves into that bronze medal position. This extremely experienced combination from Denmark of Rasmussen and Eriksson. I think they're going to have something to say in the final quarter of this race. Can they claw back the Greeks to get themselves onto the podium? But we ride here with the Australians absolutely dominant in this last quarter of the race. The Romanians are chasing, but they're not going to be able to pull them back. The Australians up at 38 strokes per minute, the Romanians at 41, but Australia still moving away.
Well, it's just a dominant performance from the Australians. You can see how much the Romanians are hurting here, up to 42 strokes a minute, really just trying to hold on to that silver medal position. You can see from the distances, it's probably quite safe as they're coming towards those red buoys that they hit now, marking up the last 250. But it is a dominant performance from Australia. We've got Romania back there in second, and that Greek double, coached by Giovanni Postiglione, doing a very good job into that third bronze medal position. We've got Anastasiadou sitting in that bow seat. She used to be a lightweight. She's only 5'5". That's 165 centimetres. But here she is in the bow seat of that heavyweight pair, open weight pair, looking like they're going to pick up the bronze. But it's all about this Australian pair looking fantastic here, coming down across this beautiful water in front of the crowd.
They're coming down in front of the Aussie supporters. They're loud and proud, and they're out there cheering. But this Australian combination, absolutely incredible. Jessica Morrison, Annabelle McIntyre across the line to take the gold medal at the World Cup, backing up their dominance at Varese World Cup 2. Romania crossing the line for silver, and the Greeks managing to hold on for that bronze medal. They have held off that fast finishing combination from Denmark as the Spanish come across the line, and Ireland now rounding out the field.
Yeah, it was a dominant performance for Morrison and McIntyre, as we expected. They looked so good yesterday. That Romanian pair, I thought, did well. They were brave. There was no other way to take it on, to go out with them. But you often see it, really, that third quarter is the place where the field really tends to open up. And, yeah, good bronze medal for the Greek pair. And really quite a spread across the whole field.
I mean, the heat was really on with those two leading combinations, Greg. You could see the pain on the faces of the Romanian athletes, but as we've said, they're doubling up in the 8. They've had a number of races throughout this regatta. It's been a hot weekend, and it is a risk. It is a risk to do the double up, but we see there the World Cup champions, Morrison and McIntyre from Australia. Confirmation of Romania taking the silver and Greece taking the bronze.
as we see some nice shots of them getting away. That Greek pair did get away fast. The Irish were in there early on, looking clean off the start. But this Australian crew just made it look very, very simple. It wasn't high rate, it was just really long, really connected. You can almost see that suspension that they're getting where the blade is in the water and the whole of the body weight is just hanging between the feet and the hands. And that was just producing lovely, long, connected strokes. And you can also see how much it hurts. It's funny, you know, they make it look easy, but you know how much it hurts.
Australia!